Fabri.
No, no.
Dentro passato. Ah, sì, a destra, a destra. No.
Dai, chi va? Chi va? Ma...
Passaggio, poi io.
No, poi va di là, poi vai tu.
Ma io e tu perché fa?
Sì, così inizio. Ho tirato in mezzo all'inizio, ho provato a tirare lo stesso.
Ciao Nico!
Speriamo bene, dai. Un po' di buona sorte.
Vai! Vai! Vai!
Qua dietro, 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 dietro.
Diciamo che fare i passaggi di destra è praticamente impossibile. Perché?
Vengo!
Vai!
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 Nico, 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 vai! Nico! Vai! Vai, vai, vai!
It's a 1 and a 2. 1-2.
Voi, vedi te. Voi. Voi. Vamos botar já. Dove? Ma non mi piace che fanno questo, non ho questo. Vai, vai. Può tirare? Fabri. Ce l'ho io.
Sei buono, eh?
Questo è buono.
Sì.
Vai!
Oh, ce n'è una qua io.
Dove? Vai! Nico! Una palla lì avanti. Ci sono molte palle qua davanti. Vai!
Encore dans la tua barrière, barrière. Good.
Vai! Vai! Nico!
Good. Yes. Tire, tire, tire.
Ora.
Tire.
Ora, ma speriamo che non si senta. Cosa che? No. Sta Nicola Mauro sta ancora. Sì. Mandalo.
Good. Yes.
Vai.
Tire.
Grazie.
Tire, attends. Attends. Voilà. Braque-toi. 10 mètres. Oui.
Palazzo.
No, è un appartamento.
Tire.
Centrocampo, sì.
Se palla l'abbiamo dal portiere. Poi.
Germany draw, Germany through. If Italy wins and Germany lose, the margins of the scores both games have to add up to 8. So if Italy lose 4-0 and Italy win 4-0 and Germany lose 4-0, it adds up to 8. Then Italy were through.
Good.
Especially England have got to win by a certain score, and Italy have got to win by a certain score that adds up to 8. Italy aren't going to be through. But if England England smash Germany and Italy win.
Good.
Italy win. Italy win and Germany get smashed.
Good.
Yeah, perfect save.
Good. Good.
So good afternoon and welcome back to the IBSA Blind Football European Championships 2017. This is Berlin. Our second game of day 6. It's France versus Italy in their final group games. So good afternoon, my name's Alan March. Alongside me, one of our match commentators, Peter Selby. Pete, big game for both of these sides. Realistically, you've got to win to even stand a chance of going through.
Yeah, both of these teams need to win, and they'll also need maybe a hand from England later on against Germany. There's a number of permutations in Group A. England top with 9 points, Germany in second with 6, and you can see here France and Italy 4 and 3 points. Essentially, if France win this game, they'll be on 7 points, and then they'll hope that England beat Germany and France will then go through. Italy, if they win, they get 6 points. They were already 8 goals behind the Germans, so let's say they win by 4. They'll need England to beat Germany by 4 to then go through.
And the way England are scoring, if Italy can get a victory, there is always the chance. Even if it's just by 1 goal. England have scored so many already, 19 as you can see, without chipping. And in fact, the reason that France and Italy have minus goal scoring columns is because of England themselves.
Essentially, yes. So France or Italy, if one of these two teams win here today, they have got a very realistic chance of getting through to the next round, and obviously they'll be paying close attention to that game after this against Germany and England.
Okay, so here's how the two teams have fared so far in this competition. Germany with a victory over France in that rain-delayed game in the opener. Italy. Germany then lost to France in the next game by 2-1. England with a 7-0 victory over France, and then that disappointing draw for France, who could be in such a strong position in this group. Nobody expected a goalless draw against Romania.
Yeah, the people who were cheering on the Romanians in that game were the fans of Germany. That draw for France has really meant they're up against it. Again, if they do beat Italy, they're in a strong position to go through because of the form of England, but you don't really want to be relying on other teams to be doing you a favour at this time of the group. France versus Italy, very even match, and well, like I said, you don't want to be relying on England beating Germany. Yes, they will be the favourites too, but at this stage of proceedings, you want matters in your own hand.
Okay, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the games that these two teams have been playing. This is France against Germany. Now, now on reflection, having watched France struggle against Romania and lose against England, we thought they were lucky against Germany because Germany missed so many penalties. Was that a false dawn? Did that take everybody in the wrong direction, or have they just had 2 off days since then?
No, I think it was a false dawn. I think you are right. Germany missed a number of chances. They didn't play very well at all, the Germans. And you can see here from one of the missed penalties, France went down the other end of the field, tackling the ball and going down and scoring, which turned out to be the decisive goal in the game, with the running the field, whole length of the field and burying it past the goalkeeper. And Germany couldn't come back from that 2-goal deficit. They scored in the second half. But yeah, we all turned around and thought, oh, France, they've got a really good pedigree in blind football. They're 3-time European champions, silver medalist from London 2012. And of course, that includes the likes of Brazil, also Argentina and the South Americans. And so we thought, well, France, they've turned up with a decent team here, and they've beaten the host nation in the first game. But after that, they've really gone downhill, culminating in that really disappointing draw against what have been the whipping boys so far of Group A, the Romanians.
So we'll show you the highlights of Italy's game against Germany as well next then.
So the Germans would be wanting the home support to really get behind them, and they turn up in their numbers against, well, it's a crucial tie after losing their first game, and they got off to a good start. It was quite an even first half, and then just before half time it was Tonting scoring to make it 1-0, and all the attention was on the Germans, but Italy and their young superstar Paralympic tried to get them back into the game, but ultimately it was just a bridge too far for them.
Yeah, opening night, which fans of German football in general came, filled the stadium. It was absolutely fantastic, and at the moment Germany desperate to find their way into the semi-finals. You feel like the home crowd will come back out in their droves should Germany get to that semi-final. And then also, of course, if you lose in the semi-final or win in the semi-final, you still play on the final day, whether it be the third place playoff or the final itself. So Germany, for the sake of the competition, hoping to go through and fill the seats here in the stands in Berlin. So that was the second goal for Germany in the opening game. We'll take a look at the group standings for Group B in a few moments' time as well. Of course, A and B both got games to come still today. So there we go. We've had Russia 2, Belgium 0. The injury at the end, a very interesting turning point in that Russia game. Their top scorer kicking the floor and knocked the ball right at the end, and Igorov might be out. We're still waiting for an official verdict on that. Russia, though, will win the group. Or they will go through, should I say. Spain, if they are to beat Turkey, will win the group. Turkey, on the other hand, need to beat Spain for the holders to carry on here. Now let's take a look at Igorov's injury here, Pete. It didn't look good at first glance. Gets himself up from that first attempt and then just kicks the floor with a wild swing towards goal, and it just pulls the ankle back, doesn't it? He takes a dramatic tumble, and he was in some serious pain on the side with ice being applied by the medical team.
Yeah, he's been the mainstay of the Russian attack. Operates wide on the right-hand side. He's got 5 goals to his name. Scored actually a 6th goal for him in his finals in that game earlier on today. So he'll be a big miss. So fingers crossed for him, and it'll be fingers crossed for all the Russian supporters out there, because he'll be a big miss indeed.
Let's take a look at the top goal scorers in this competition so far. No doubting that Hassan Satay has his hands on the top goal scorer trophy at the moment. He's got 10 for Turkey, but this is where the issue lies for Italy and for France, isn't it, Pete? Paralympic got 4 in one game, not another Italian on that list here, and as for France as well, they're not on that top 17 goal scorers.
No, France are solid, if not spectacular. They are quite an old team. They've got a lot of experience, but they haven't got that star quality that Italy have. I think if you looked overall on the two teams, you'll say that the French are all round stronger, But the Italians have that star man, Paralympic. Just turned 15 years old, 4 goals in 1 game in this competition. It was a person I said to look out for at the start of the tournament, and he's the main guy today. If Italy are going to win, it will revolve around Paralympic, and in fact I think this game will revolve around him. If he turns up, then in my opinion Italy win. If France do a bit of a number on him like England did, they marked him out of the game, then it could swing the side of France. But I think it all revolves around the big number 7 for Italy.
Okay, so the teams making their way over to the tunnel. Their warm-up period is finished. Of course, it's a 20-minute warm-up in silence. No music in the venue. The spectators are asked to remain silent. That's so they can hear the ball bearings in the tin sphere inside the ball. And as for any more questions you have about blind football or even the tournament here, somebody who was in Rio 2016, Pete, he can answer those along with Jonathan Bell. How easy is it to get in touch with you?
Well, it's very easy indeed. Just use social media at Euro 2017 Berlin. That's our Twitter handle, so make sure you follow us. It means you can keep a close eye on all the games. Maybe you're at work and you're going to miss 1 or 2. It means you can catch up with who scored and what the current standings are. And then any questions you've got on the sport, who you're supporting, tell us where you're watching from. Please use the hashtag #TheSoundOfFootball, and we'll get in contact back with you and try and answer any of the questions that you've got to do with this championships and also the great sport of blind football.
Okay, don't forget there'll be a bit of a gap after this game, but there'll be 2 more tonight. The holders, Turkey, trying to stay in the competition. The hosts, Germany, trying to stay in the competition. It's a very interesting evening. This game might just affect it as well. Let's go over to our commentary team, Jonathan Bell and Peter Selby.
Thank you, Alan. Good afternoon, everyone, to a sun-kissed Berlin for the IBSA Blind Football European Championship 2017. We're on to day 6, and the nitty-gritty of Group A has dawned upon us. France and Italy both coming onto this field knowing that only one of them, if maybe none of them, will be progressing to the semi-finals of this competition. Italy, last time around in 2015 in Hereford, had to contend for the 7th, 8th place playoff. They will hopefully not be getting to that stage once again. They want to be further. They want to be in the semi-finals. There'll be one hell of a goal swing, though, of 8 goals in order for them to be there, and they still have to hope for Germany to lose later on. As for France, they have to win, and Germany have to lose later on against England. So temporarily it will be in their hands, but it will still all go to that England-Germany game later on. For now, though, it's down to the 2 teams on the field doing the best they can to put pressure on the home nation later on tonight. As passionate as ever from the Italians, all in white. Now it's time for Le Bleu.
Féroces
all set and ready to go then for this Group A showdown between France and Italy. France third in Group A against the Italians currently in fourth. One of them may be able to break into the top two, but the chances are certainly up against them. In terms of team selection, France have Julian Roya starting in goal. Martin Baron is their captain, the number 6. He is certainly their main player in terms of an offensive outlet. Wasn't really his game though against Romania the other day. A 0-0 draw for the French has put them in this position where they are perilously staring behind their shoulder rather than in front of them. As for Italy, a big goal swing required from them. They'll also be hoping for England to do the damage over Germany, just like England did against Italy themselves last night. From that 6-0 defeat against the Three Lions, they stick with Marco Lamacchia in goal and captain Fabrizio D'Alessandro, the number 9 as well. But Paul Oyobo, importantly for Italy, starts the number 7. He didn't feature in the second period yesterday against England, which was a slight worry for those of an Italian persuasion. He is a 15-year-old forward with 4 goals to his name in this competition. And in the middle of the two teams are the officials, dressed in their black shirts, black shorts and black socks with yellow sides as well. The two referees on the field are Luis Perez Macias and also Lucas Skotnicki as well. And the other two officials will be in between the two sets of dugouts on the far side behind the advertising boards, which also act as kickboards as well. The players are allowed to bounce off the ball there and also bounce themselves off the wall of the opposition as well, which has been quite a frequent feature of these championships so far. There are 2 of them in between the dugouts. The other 3 will be sat on the table behind in the white tent. The coin toss now will be decided between the 2 officials. Let's listen into that.
Darf natürlich ausreichend und laut gejubelt werden. Und das hört sich hier im Stadion Bahnhof zur dritten Fußball-Europameisterschaft 2017 in Berlin an.
France are in the kick-off and they elect to switch to the side that they already are on, and Italy will get the kick-off. So France in their blue shirts, blue shorts and black socks with white numbers on their back. Italy in their chain strip of all white with blue numbers on their back, and above their numbers on their back it says Italia. So, just in case you're joining us and you are completely oblivious to the importance of this game, just look at positions 3 and 4. The final match there's for France and Italy in the group stage. Both of them in with the slimmest of opportunities of making the top 2. England are already going to be in the semi-finals tomorrow. Their game against Germany comes up later tonight, 5 o'clock kickoff local time, 4 o'clock British summertime. But eyes are firmly on this match between the French and the Italians, and Pete, 2 teams with such great pedigree in European blind football. France, 3-time European champions, Olympic silver medalists in 2012 against an Italian team who have had a footballing programme in blind football since 1986. How's it got to the point where they are fighting for their lives in order to be in the semi-finals?
Well, quite simply for France, it's the draw against Romania. A very disappointing result for them. And if France win, they will need England to do them a favour by beating Germany. And for Italy, quite simply, they need to win and then hope that England beat Germany and by a few. So, for example, there is an 8-goal difference between Italy and Germany. Nice and easy. Italy win 4-0 here. That will be reduced to -4. And then England beat Germany by at least 4, and then they will go through. So there's plenty of permutations. France and Italy, they both need to win. A draw is not good enough for either side. If a draw happens, then the German fans here will be absolutely delighted. Just having to change the shirt of the French goalkeeper because it's yeah, it is very similar to the Italians. The Italian all in whites against France in blue. So there is a many people out there will think it would be Italy in blue, but no, Italy in white, shooting from right to left. France in blue, shooting from left to right. Once again, final match for these 2 teams in Group A.
They both need to win to stand a chance of going through to the semi-finals. The game after this, at 5 o'clock local time here in Berlin, is Germany against England, the final group game of Group A. And then after that is a mouth-watering clash between Turkey and Spain. Again, both of those sides can go through in Group B. So we've got 3 fantastic matches ahead of us on day 6 of the IBSA Blind Football European Championships here in the wonderful city of Berlin. Stunning sunshine is beaming down on this surface on the site of an old railway station in the heart of this wonderful city. And the game's got underway. There's 2 halves of 20 minutes. It's deep inside French territory at the moment, and they just clear it downfield, down the right, for number 7, Jerome Penasson, to try and chase, and he's wrestling on the broken line by the kickboard. That's on either side of the field. We'll give you a quick rundown of the rules as we go through the opening minutes of this game. France with the ball on the right, just poking it forward towards the edge of the D, and it can't be picked up by a French player, and now it's Lilly out for Italy. He'll be the mainstay of the defence. It's on our near side. We're just above the main camera that you're currently watching right now. Number 7, Penasson, from the edge of the broken line. The pitch is split into thirds, and the broken line signifies each third. Defensive third, midfield third, and an attacking third. So you can hear his reference, that's on commentary. And now you know why. Down the right-hand side again for Penasson to chase. And that's going to run out of play, and it's going to be a goal kick. The goalkeepers, they are fully sighted, and they can't move out of sight of their goalkeeping square. It's only 2 metres. And there's the referees on the far side, and that's where the officials will be going to with their decisions. That runs out for a, this time, French goal kick. And the goalkeepers act as also coaches as well, and they help their defenders by telling them exactly where to do and what to do with the football. Down the left for France, trying to be picked up by Baron, who likes to ply his trade on the left-hand side. Just having a bit of a pushing match at the moment with Lilly, and Baron still has it. He'll be one of the main goal threats for France. Comes back to the halfway line. Again, then kickballs just angled slightly away from the players to help any collisions. We don't want it full 90 degrees, or very painful indeed. There's Poliobo trying to get involved and brings his opponent down on the halfway line, so it's going to be the first foul given on halfway. Poliobo's only 15 years old, just turned as well, the Italian number 7. And you can see the official there just exactly explaining to the officials, saying it was for a trip. It's the first foul by Poliobo, and it's the first team foul. Now, below the scores at the top of your screen, you'll notice 5 white discs. Now, that's the first foul, team foul for Italy. You're allowed 5 per half. Any more than 5, then it will result in a 8-metre penalty kick. They do get rescinded at half-time, so there'll be allowed another 5. And each player's allowed 5 personal fouls, and then you'll be asked to leave the field of play for the remainder of the game, and you'll be substituted if you have substitutes on the bench. It's with Baron inside the centre circle, passes out wide on the right for Lebert inside the French half. And France over the halfway line. Lebert being forced back into his own half on the French right, and just pushes his opponent to ground, and that's going to be a free kick to Italy deep inside French territory. And poor play there by David Lebert. Really, he had the ball, and yes, he was being pushed back into his own half, Jonathan, but it didn't need to react like that. And that's going to be the first foul for France, and that means it's going to be a 1 team foul each in these early stages.
Yeah, so those extras will appear very soon, hopefully under the flags on the graphic at the top of the screen. As the free kick is taken by Italy. It's plonked forward by the captain, D'Alessandro, harmlessly through though to Royo, who just throws it down the centre. Baron with his back to goal, tried to control it. It's past him though and rolled all the way through to the goalkeeper now for Italy, Lamacchia, who bowls it just to the left. And it's Delaccio, who plays it angled low forward towards the right-hand side. It's intercepted by Lebert, but the loose ball's picked up by Iyobo on the halfway line, coming into a central position. Good tackle from Lebert, who gets back there and comes down towards the near side. It's D'Alessandro who's in his back. This is just outside the France box. The ball very close to the byline indeed. It's not yet gone out. Lebert's claiming a foul on him from D'Alessandro. He had his arms out either side of his body, and then he switches play towards the left, and Baron just inside his own half, comes inside of Iyobo retreating. Italy with every man back in their own half now. One of them, D'Alessandro, stood on the halfway line, wins the ball, and now strides forward. Great run from D'Alessandro, goes for the shot from the edge of the area, misses the ball. He still battles for it with Riviere. Riviere loses track of it. Iyobo comes onto the scene. It's 2-on-2 here as far as the tussle is concerned. concerned on the edge of the area. Coming out on top, there were France, who switched the ball to the left, and now Baron. Baron running down the left-hand side, stands on the ball, it goes behind him, and a Yobo who can now run forward on the inside right channel, clatters there into Riviere. A really bad head-on collision towards the edge of the penalty area, and the worst thing about that as well is Ayobo was a tall figure, and he was actually going down a little bit anyway due to a trip just before that, so he was already clattering in that downwards angle in towards the head of Riviere, and that is a really nasty collision, head-on head, right on the edge of the box. Ayobo and Riviere now both back on their feet, and the best thing about blind football, Pete, despite the fact it is really hairy, scary at times, and you get some really bad collisions, it actually turns out that these players straight away manage to get back to their feet, and there is no complaints at all.
Well, I've always said that's the number one thing you need in blind football, is to be brave. And very brave of these players. In our earlier game, we had Alexander Vespes for Belgium going off the field a number of occasions with broken noses and nosebleeds and all sorts of business going on. And yeah, they come back for more. Very dangerous position here. Italy with this free kick, edge of the D. Poliobo standing over it. 4 men in the wall. Now the coach is tapping the posts, signifying where the goals are, giving instructions to the players. Obviously silence during the game. The ball itself, it's a size 4 football, quite hard actually, quite heavy ball. It's got a small tin oval shaped disc inside with ball bearings in making a noise. Here goes Yobo, left footed wide of the left hand post, and a good effort there by Poliobo. And he's going to be the main goal threat for Italy. But here come France. Outside their own half. Switch it over to the left. Poliobo intercepts, and he's a real physical player, and he's got a big giant stride on him, and once he starts running at the defence, that will cause a lot of bother to the French in this must-win game. If you just join this coverage, and both these sides need to win to stand a chance of going through. It's France in the all-blue shooting from left to right, and Italy in all white from right to left. It's with France inside the Italian third. It's Baron on the left-hand side of the D. Goes into the centre. He's pulled to the ground, and well, he was just about to pull the trigger from outside of the D in a central position with no one near him. He was hauled to the ground by the Italian number 4, and that's Jacobi Lilly, and that's going to be a yellow card given to Lilly. See on the replay, if you're watching the live stream, got past his man and then he brought him to ground, kept hold of his shirt, and well, a yellow card and another team foul. So, well, the Italians, that's 2 each now. It's the first foul for that player, but he's been given a yellow card as well. So the team fouls are racking up. But apart from that, we have a very dangerous free kick. Now, it is a yard outside of the D, and it is around about 2 to 3 yards to the left of centre. Standing over the ball, Jerome Persson, who, to be honest, has actually been on the bench for the first few games, and it's a surprise that he's in the starting lineup. Standing with him is Riviere. Baron actually is standing in the wall itself, so whether he's going to run away from that wall or try and move the wall backwards, he can't actually go inside that goalkeeping square. If the goalkeeper comes out of that square actually and handles the ball or saves, we've had a number in this tournament so far, then it will be a penalty. There's the guide behind, tapping the post. Now he's going to shout the instructions. France, chance from the free kick. Good save by the goalkeeper, straight at him. Chance again, the wall stayed where it was and it hits the wall. And now the Italians try and scramble the ball clear. It's just rolling towards the byline. It's not going to run out of play. Now it will do, but it will be a corner. So a good save by the keeper. It was straight at him from a powerfully struck free kick, and then it bounced back out, and the second opportunity was blocked by the wall, who didn't actually move. There was a good wall there lined up by the Italians, and they breathe a sigh of relief. 4 minutes gone. It's goalless in this, again, must-win game. A draw will do neither side any good whatsoever. In fact, the only side it will do is the German side, who will then go through. Ball's inside the D from that corner, over to the left-hand side. and it's tried to be controlled by Labert. Labert goes by the kickboard on the left. He's got Poliobo next to him. He's going to play it back to Baron, who controls well, can shoot from distance. Right-footed, palmed away by the keeper, and he can't pick that up. It's outside of his goalkeeping square. The Italian defenders try and locate the ball. Now they do, and poke it down the left. Good save by the keeper, one-handed. He dived to his left, and it was just above him. He used his right hand to parry it. I thought he was going to bobble into the net, but it was outside of his goalkeeping square. Baron on the left for France. Breaks by two defenders. His right-footed shot has no power on it. It runs out of play for a goal kick to Italy. But a period of pressure there for France and a number of saves by the keeper.
Yeah, really good spell that for the French. And the Yobo down the other end trying to make something happen now for Italy. Good tackle from Labar, who certainly got the bit between his teeth in this one. It was a disappointing performance from him and his French teammates yesterday against Romania. But a good bit of skill from Labar trying to approach the attacking third. Good tackle coming in from Delaccio, the number 8 for Italy. Tries to turn away from his opposite number, but Labar standing firm and the ball squirms to the right-hand side. Midway inside the Italian half on the French right is Penisson, who turns nicely infield onto the left foot now. Dribbles towards the left-hand side. He's got Baron near there as well. Italy have everyone back in their defensive zone. Penisson charges at them. Right for a shot from distance. What a goal from Jerome Penisson. Just inside the attacking zone. Toe poked it with the right foot, and it just bounced in front of Marco Lamacchia, who did not move a muscle. It went into his bottom right corner, and that must be the best goal from the furthest distance so far in these championships. French lead in this must-win game. France 1, Italy 0.
It's a French thunderbolt from outside of the D. And Penisson, the man who I said who should have been in the starting lineup earlier on in this tournament, scores from exactly on the broken line. A right-footed effort. The goalkeeper never moved. And it makes this must-win game 1-0 in terms of France going in front. That's vital for them, because I think if Italy went in front, then they could have possibly gone on and won by quite a few, with this man Poliobo, who'll be the mainstay of the attack for Italy, trying to get back into the game. What a goal there by France, and Poliobo inside the D, wrestling for the ball. It gets brought out by France, who are now buoyed by that goal. Absolutely out of the blue. Flew past the keeper on his near post as well. Little he could have done. What a goal, one of the goals of the tournament. Here is that man Penisson from the right-hand side. He's inside that final third, and of course it doesn't matter whether he's near the D or not. He shoots again from distance, this time gets no power on it, and the direction is poor as well. It goes out for a goal kick, but this game has started very brightly indeed for the French. A period of pressure leading up to the goal, and we can see a replay now of the goal. The live action is in the top left-hand corner. The ball's inside the D, and France can try and clear their lines, although they're struggling to, and it's inside the D. A turn and the shot by D'Alessandro, saved by the keeper. It's on the edge of the D, so the goalkeeper's got to be brave here. He has to go down and pick the ball up at the feet of the Italian attacker D'Alessandro, and he does so. Good goalkeeping there by Julien Roy. A quick throw down to find Penisson once again, edge of the D. Can't get a shot off on goal. It's end-to-end football at the moment, and it's being brought out by Italy on their left. Tackled again, this time by Baron on the right. More central, he's going to stop, he's more right-footed. Tackle comes in by D'Alessandro, but it's still with Baron back towards the broken line. Central position, now he starts a mazy dribble down the left, approaching the D. Just loses track of the ball, switches it to the centre where you know Penisson is going to have a shot from anywhere. That rolls to the keeper, and the Italians breathe another sigh of relief. Their main forward is Poliobo, who's not really got into this game so far. He's being well marshalled by Baron on the far side, and Baron wins it back for France. Squares it over to the right. He's back inside his own half, and it can't be picked up first time asking by Riviere. He's playing more defensively in this game. It's inside his D. Going to ground is D'Alessandro. Only a corner, though, for the Italians. And staying down is the French number 8, David Lebert. And everyone just takes a bit of a breath, including myself.
Unbelievable stuff in this game. Lebert's holding the back of his neck as he's now sat up. The goalkeeper, Julien Royer, is behind him, and it looks like a change is being indicated by the French coach there, Samir Gassama. And getting stripped and ready to come on is the team captain, Fabrice Morgado, who, when he starts, does wear the red captain's armband of France. Of course, it's Martin Baron doing the honours this time around. Lebert is up, and he looks like he'll be okay to continue. There is a substitution in the offing, though, on the far side. Samir Gassama is wanting this change to be made before the corner, but it doesn't look as if it will be. So, taken on the left-hand side. The referee has signalled the substitution to now be made. A bit of confusion there, but eventually the deed will be done. And actually coming off is Jérôme Périsson, the goal scorer. Gets a very well-deserved round of applause, not just from the French, but some Italians as well in the crowd, applauding the French number 7, who is replaced by Fabrice Morgado, who jogs towards his own defensive area to defend this corner. All 4 blue shirts back inside their penalty area to defend this. Italy have 2 white shirts in the corner to take it, with D'Alessandro alongside Iyobo, and just back on the centre circle is Delaccio as a 3rd offensive option for Italy, but it'll be left to Iyobo to do it. Wriggles towards the front post, cleared away by France towards the halfway line. The 2 Italian defenders getting a bit of miscommunication there. It goes in between both of them, but harmlessly rolls out in the end as France weren't quick enough to react, and out it goes for Lamacchia's ball. He bowls it out to his left, and Delaccio just coming towards the edge of his defensive zone, just left of centre. Right-footed ball towards the left-hand side, and D'Alessandro bundles past Morgado, but then coming across is Labar. Labar over the halfway line, gets towards the halfway point of the Italian half before laterally coming inside, stops the ball centrally, weaving his way from right to left, undecided I think which way to go, then backheels it ambitiously towards the left corner. Baron gives chase but won't get there, and Lamacchia once again can throw the ball out from the back. Italy have it right-hand side, over the halfway line. Iyobo comes running with it, runs into a French cul-de-sac, and now Baron can break at the other end, just right to the centre circle. Slightly loses track of the ball, but manages to just get his left foot back on it again, and he now makes inroads towards the left-hand side, tickling the ball between 2 feet as he just keeps it close to him, and then plays it towards the right-hand side, and now it's Morgado. Morgado back to the left, and Baron lets the ball just come off the kickboard on the left-hand side before darting down that left channel, tries to make his way inside. Lily's all over him there and manages to make sure the last touch does indeed come off Baron, and out it goes for an Italy ball. Once again thrown to the right-hand side, quite clear who the outlet is, and that's Iyobo. Lebert once again across to win that battle, and again he goes down, this time under the challenge of D'Alessandro, who pleads his innocence, and on the edge of the French defensive zone, Lebert is once again the man holding his head. One thing I do have to say about Lebert, whether it's a foul or not, he does go down very gracefully indeed, and he certainly wouldn't be amiss in the Premier League.
No, I think that one's got no void called all over. That's the first personal foul and the 3rd team foul. Yeah, no void called, and a collision on the French 3rd, so it's going to be deep inside their own half again to try and build, but it's all been France so far. Italy very disappointing. D'Alessandro has had a little service, and Paul Iyobo has been very well marshalled so far, and he's not got into the game. That's something that the all-white strip of the Italians will need to get sorted. Here's Iyobo trying to make a tackle on Baron. Baron goes past him on the edge of the D on the left-hand side once again. Baron back to the broken line, continues his mazy dribble. He's inside the centre circle. Now he stops, goes back down the left, stops again, carries on his run down the left. Now he goes with full pace into Lily, and the ball runs out for a goal kick. And that's the skill of Baron. He's got the pace, he's got the change of direction, and he's got the shot also to beat the Italian keeper. Throw out down the left for Italy. Once again, it's snuffed out by the French defence, and coming down the right for France is the substitute for France, number 3. And that's Fabrice Morgado, and he's still got the ball by the D, and he just bulldozes his way into the box. Can't get a left-footed shot on goal. It's still live on the edge of the goalkeeping square, and eventually he pokes it wide, but Morgado, a mazy run down the right. And again, it doesn't matter who the Frenchman is, but they're finding their way into that box of Italy. Here comes Baron again, edge of the D, just to the right, stops, goes back. He's now in a central position. Tackle coming in from Alessandro, but he can't win the ball. Baron into the D, can't get a shot off on goal, and he's just throwing Italians to the left and to the right, and he still can't get a shot off on goal. Leaves it for Morgado on the right. He's battling by the kickboard. At the moment, he's getting the better of the Italian defence. Again, pushes his way through, and it's just through skill, pace and brute strength at the moment that France are getting through to the final third. Here's Paul Iyobo at the other end. On the right, he's got 3 Frenchmen with us, and they instantly take the ball off him and clear downfield. Again, no purchase at all up front. Italy, they've been very disappointed in this first 10 minutes. And they've also got 3 team fouls against them. Here comes, again, a shot comes in from France from the broken line. This time it's by David Lebert, and that really sums up the half for France so far. It doesn't matter who it is who's coming forward with the ball. They're peppering the goal with shots. They bring a substitute on, Morgado. He peppers the goal with shots, and there's absolutely nothing so far coming from this Italian side. The French have done very well by controlling Pogliobbo on the right-hand side. D'Alessandro's had nothing on the left. Substitute comes on for Italy. And it's Fabrice D'Alessandro who goes off, and Matteo Zizou makes his way onto the field, and there's a bit of a roll of the dice for the Italians. Maybe a change of personnel will help, and they will need to push players forward. They are doing, to be honest with you. They've got Pogliobbo on the right, and on the left is the diminutive number 8, Massimo De Lacio, and De Lacio goes over to the right, finds Pogliobbo on the halfway line. He's facing his own goal. He's going to get a free kick because there's a push in the back by Baron on halfway. An easy decision there for the referee, and that's going to be the French third team foul. So these are racking up actually quite nicely in this first half, and there could be some penalty kicks from 8 metres if there's any more than 5. And well, that could make it certainly very interesting. Just to give you another rundown of the situation in Group A, these teams need to win. France need to win, Italy need to win to stand a chance of going through. A draw is no good for either side. In fact, the one team who's hoping for a draw is Germany. Free kick taken from the halfway line, down the left to try and find De Lacio, who goes beyond 2 players. He's on the edge of the D. He's going to possibly get a corner here. Yes, he does. Good play there by the number 8 for Italy. Managed to push a few players out of the way. Just came off a French leg last, and it will be a corner.
So Italy have it on the left-hand side. Stood over the ball, the number 7, Pogliobbo. Slightly taller than the man in front of him, the more stockier number 8, Massimo De Lacio. As some grey clouds begin to threaten up above us. Hopefully they don't come all the way towards us. Anyway, De Lacio trying to threaten the French defence at the moment, goes down at the front post in the area. A couple of appeals for a penalty, nothing given from the referee. The ball goes down the other end of the field. Is Jacobo Lilly trying to keep the ball in from going behind for a corner? He can't. It'd be interesting to see a replay of that collision in the penalty area at the other end there. Massimo De Lacio going to ground at the front of the penalty box. The Italians appealed for the spot kick. The referee said no, there must have been a call of void, and now at the other end it's France who have the corner. Just one man stood over the ball, which is quite uncharacteristic from the French. Taking it will be Morgado, who will just play it low across the face of goal, diagonally backwards towards the left side, and Lebert couldn't get contact to it. Ayobo reacted first and now strides over the right-hand side and halfway. Lebert again just shepherding the ball. He has to be careful he doesn't obstruct Ayobo too much, but a good turn from Lebert, who actually tempted Ayobo to come round the other side of him to win the ball, and Lebert could just turn and face the opposition goal and play it down the left. Searches for Baron, tries to get goal side of Lilly, but it scampers out for a goalkeeper's ball. And here's the penalty incident. He's well, it's certainly a physical battle going on, we know that, but Lebert was the one this time around who was the one issuing the physicality. De Lacio going down, and the referee just saying it was a coming together. Meanwhile, midway inside the Italian half, they're right, it's Ayobo forced up against the kickboard, turned, pirouettes towards the left-hand side with the left foot over halfway, and guess what, there's no Italians over the halfway line.
No, they need to rectify that if they're getting back into this game. Here comes the Italian number 3, the French number 3. That's Morgado, just bulldozing his way past a couple of players, includes Pogliobbo, who gets to his feet and tries to chase this down the right inside French territory. Pogliobbo's had nothing so far, the 4-goal hero in their victory over Romania. On the left, well kept in by D'Alessandro. In fact, actually, no, De Lacio can't keep it from going out of play, and it will be a French restart. So, with 12 minutes and 20 seconds gone in this first half, it's 3 fouls each for France and Italy. But more important than that, it's 1-0 in terms of the scoreline. Baron in a central position, now switches to the left, outside of the D, now into the D, into the goalkeeping square, and the goalkeeper picks the ball up very bravely, and Baron just stops his run before he ends up in the back of the net. Down the right for, again, Italy snuffed out, and Pogliobbo just bangs on the kickboard in anger. Lovely play by France from the left, switching play over to the right, and maybe a little bit too much on that for Morgado to catch up with. And at the moment, it's only looking like one side might increase their lead, and that's the French, with the likes of Baron Down the right again for Morgado. This time he can keep it in. He does so. It's rolling towards the byline. He's going to need to catch the ball. Yes, he does. He controls it on that byline. Now he goes into the D, gets to his feet after being tripped, hits the post, and it comes back out to Baron on the left-hand side of the D. Wasn't really a shot. It just kind of cannoned off his neck, and then a shot with his right foot goes straight into the goalkeeper's midriff. And he rolls it down the right-hand side to try and launch an attack. But across comes Baron. He took the shot and then gets back into defensive form and manages to win the ball back. Very good play by the French number 6, not only in attack, but also getting back and helping defending. He's pushed the ball back to the broken line. He's going to follow it up towards the halfway line. Baron stops inside the centre circle, tries a back heel, that's risky, goes through the legs of Pauliobo, and now it's with Lebert down the left. Stops, chance for a right-footed shot from the centre, and that goes wide of the right-hand post. And again, all the play is with the French.
Yeah, France absolutely bossing this game. It's a shame, really. They couldn't have put this sort of shift in yesterday against Romania. And down the right-hand side, the ball goes too far in front of Morgado. And out of play goes for an Italian ball. And the officials just coming across to the near side to make sure that all is correct. And in fact, it may have been a free kick, this, which means it's another team foul going against Italy. That would be a 4th of the game for them. But no, it's actually a personal foul, which is a relief for them, because otherwise they would have been leading a very charmed life. And timeout was being called by France, which gives an opportunity for both sides to take on some fluid, and a word from their coach as well. So that was a personal foul. It does say on the screen at the moment that that was a team foul. That is incorrect, and that will be changed in a moment, I'm sure, as the timeout called, and France leading 1-0 in the ascendancy. However, Pete, they know that it's very easy for Italy to just get one chance, one goal, and be back in this.
Yeah, it's too easy for the French at the moment. And I mentioned about a player taking a shot through Baron and then getting back and helping out defending. That's something that the Italians could maybe learn to do, and have players going forward and then getting back, rather than have 2 or 3 players always on their own D. But it's all been with France so far. It doesn't matter who it is who's on the field. Labert, Pennisson, Baron, Riviere, they're all taking shots from all angles. And I'm amazed at the moment it's only the 1 goal. And, well, if I was the Italians, I'd be thinking, well, what can we do to get into this game? They've not got Pauliobo into this game absolutely whatever. Are we going to have to maybe drop him deeper to give him the ball and then he can start his runs? That's one option. Or maybe just send him further forward, because he's standing on the halfway line. Put him on the edge of the D, put him on the edge of the goalkeeping square and say, look, we'll find you with a pass or probably a long throw out by the goalkeeper. It's a tactic that Turkey used very well. That could be one way of using Pauliobo, but whatever it is, they need to change their system. They can't afford to lose, they can't afford to draw. Both sides need to win. Anyway, the timeout has finished. There's 1 per half for each team, and they last for a minute, and it's just the time obviously to get a bit of fluids into the system, and also have maybe a bit of a rethink on the touchline. So just over 5 minutes to go. It will be a free kick to France. Morgado on this right. And you can see it's not a million miles away at all from the D as well, around about 8 metres from goal. So from this position, the normal route to goal would be to move over to the centre and then take your shot. So it's the blue of France shooting from left to right, all white of Italy from right to left, and it's all been with France in this first half. Morgado, the French number 3, is going to receive this. Now there's only 2 men in the wall, so he's going to be told by the coach of that, and he might just move it and take a shot. There's the tap on the post, and now he's going to do exactly the same on the other side. The shout will come from behind the goal. The coach giving instructions. Morgado is going to move it to his right, takes a shot, hits the wall and goes out for a corner.
It's slight lull in the game, this, and it's a worry for Italy, because they have to make sure they keep their concentration. Otherwise, France could easily sting them and get a second one. Everyone back for Italy. Corner taken by France. Morgado checks back, tries to go towards the byline, then cuts inside instead. 8 metres out, left for a shot, swings at it, he goes well wide of the far post. and it's Lamacchia bowling it out towards the near side, the left. With Delaccio just on the halfway line, plays a low angled ball towards the right hand side. It's to Ayobo trying to run onto it. Well, Baron is back, and Baron is the one trying to surge his team forward. Just a little poke out towards the near side, and now Magado just short of halfway, near side the right, having to be forced back by Delaccio behind him inside his own defensive third, and this would go out for a corner if he couldn't stop it there, but he did stop it just on the byline. It takes a deflection off Delaccio and squirms across the face of the French goal, but France with Riviere can clear it down the left-hand side, and Baron now is keen to pick up this one. Does so well. Great pace from Baron, cuts inside, right footed shot low, and past Lamacchia's right-hand post. Baron there with tenacious play and making sure that he persevered with the seemingly lost cause. Ayobo at the other end, nothing has gone his way so far. Midway inside the Italian half, right-hand side, the far side, comes down on top against the bear, no mean feat, shot comes in, blocked by Riviere, who's right in front of him. Ayobo has stayed down here, looks like an injury. Delaccio has also gone down for the Italians, but Ayobo is the more pressing concern here for Italy, and Rossano Mastrodomenico, his coach. And he's back to his feet at the other end, though. Baron, we say it's not going Ayobo's way. Baron certainly has made inroads today, and he was very close with that shot at the other end.
Yeah, you don't want to be letting Baron come in from that left-hand from the left, because what he does, he just swerves with his right, and he's got a real powerful shot, and the ball's just played out for an Italian goal kick, very sportingly there, and Ayobo gingerly makes his way to the far right, tackled Delaccio by his opponent, number 8, David Lebert, and he's winning the battle of the 8 so far. Baron on the left once again, in the final third once again, drifts inside, chance for a right-footed shot, he stops, good tackle by Ayobo, who now can launch a counter from deep. Here he is, the first real time running at the ball, running at the defence, but once again, just getting the ball stuck under his feet, nice control, back to the broken line, stops, and again, he's being swarmed at by the defenders for France, mainly because he's the only one really forward. Across comes Delaccio, number 8, but there goes Lebert out of defence, and well, Ayobo, it's just not been his day so far. France have played very, very well. Lebert switches from the left side of his own half to the far right of the opponent and picks up Morgado. Stops in the centre circle. Again, goes one way, then another. Now he's going down the right, stops on the broken line, switches to the left, leading the defence of Merry Dance. Stops again, lovely drag back, goes again down the right. Just one maybe turn too many, and he's going to have to try again from deeper. Just pushes the player off the ball and says, I've still got this, you've not tackled me yet. Morgado goes towards the D, shot with his left foot, and it's well saved by the keeper, who scooped it away from danger into the kickboard on the far right, and it's up inside the centre circle once again. Ayobo trying to push his player out the way, and that's a real worrying sight for fans of the Italian side, because Ayobo just didn't charge down the defender. Here goes Baron on the edge of the D, into the back of the net. Baron from deep runs straight into the D, and a right-footed shot into the near post. It's what France deserve. They're 2 goals up in their vital Group A clash with Italy. It's all been France so far, and they deserve to be 2 up. What have Italy got to come back at France? At the moment, it's not a lot. France lead by 2-0.
And finally, persistence pays off for Martin Baron, who gets his first goal of these championships. It's been a long time in coming. I think that shot there just coming out of frustration more than anything, but it does manage to find the bottom right corner of Marco Lamacchia's net. And France now are doing all they can do in this one. Of course, they still have to rely on England later to do the business against Germany, but so far, so decent from Le Bleu. It's going to be a free kick for Italy. Is it? Yes, it is. The referee just making sure that he gets his notepad out to write down that foul and how many personal fouls that will now total. So it's a 14th foul from France in this game, and they are nearing the 5th personal foul. It's going to be a substitution for Italy before they get the chance to take this free kick. Leaving the field will be Massimo Delaccio, who is replaced by Nicola Mauro. And why it takes Italy to go 2-0 down until they bring this man on, I have no idea, because he has played in every game for Italy so far, coming off the bench and really making a significant impact. And for me, Rossano Mastrodemicio, the coach of Italy, has been too cautious in games, not starting this man alongside a Yobo. Should have won a free kick there, in my opinion, as Baron collided into him. Must have shouted the call of Voy. And Magado goes down the right-hand side, tries to get away from Mauro. Mauro tries to get his body in front. He goes back inside the French half. The referee just trying to make sure he doesn't get caught there between the carnage going off on the near side kickboard. It's going back towards the French byline. Lebert using his strength well, as he always does. And it's a good turn from him away from Mauro. It's a free kick for France this time, a couple of yards away from their byline on the near side, the French right.
Yeah, really good defence there by Lebert. Sent his player one way, really held him off with his strength, and then quickly moved down the line. And what that did, it meant that any boot by the Italians, look at that, wow. Pushed him off the ball, and well, he went over. And look at the collision at the sideboards as well, so just lost his bearings, did Mugado. But no, good play after that by Lebert. He held off the defender, the attacker, and then quickly moved down the right kickboard, and basically any boot that was in his way would have fell over, and it meant that he got the foul. Very experienced and good play by the French number 8. Now it's 4 fouls each here, and with 2.5 minutes remaining, could come into play. But Baron, edge of the D, once again a right-footed shot blocked by the defence. Comes out to Magado on the right. They need to do something about Baron on that left-hand side. They can't leave him so open. He's open now, but Magado goes himself towards the broken line. His run is stopped by Yobo, and number 3 goes again on the right, just holds off the youngster, goes back to the broken line, but Yobo gets a foot on, and then it gets played back downfield towards Lebert. And it doesn't matter for France if the time's going whilst the game's in motion, the time will be ticking. And for them, they're 2 goals up in his Farsul match, and a flip to the far side will do as long as it finds the feet of a blue Frenchman. Switch from the right over to the left to find that man Baron, who just bundles his way into Lily. Here goes Baron again, shot from distance, goes wide of the right-hand post. He's causing all sorts of problems down the left, Baron, and it's 2-2 now.
Yeah, France is just going out for goals at the moment. The reason why is, of course, if Germany lose, it doesn't matter how much France win by, they will go through anyway, as long as they win. But if France win by 10, and I know it sounds very optimistic indeed, but if France win by 10, then a German draw will not be enough for the home nation. So France are just trying to put the pressure on Germany here, because their game against England coming up later tonight. Baron coming in from the left-hand side towards a central position. Ayobo scampering forward for it. The loose ball is picked up by Lebert, who's been absolutely everywhere for France, and he's certainly improved his game today from the match against Romania yesterday, where he failed to hit the target on numerous occasions. And it was all down to this man Baron to make the inroads. Baron gets on the outside of Lily and wins the ball. A good bit of play from him, and a good switch towards the right-hand side of Magado. Is very dangerous since coming on. Midway inside the Italian half, he's forced back towards halfway by Mauro, who can't get near Magado at the moment, who runs into Ayobo now on the centre spot. Lebert once again is the man protecting the man at the back for France, who is Riviere, but the ball will drift past both Lebert and Riviere as it goes towards the left-hand side and out for a French ball. Julien Royer, who's had nothing to do in goal for France so far, bowls it down the centre towards Baron, who's a bit more occupied by Lily behind him than the ball coming towards him in front, and it goes out of play behind for an Italian ball this time, thrown to the right and Ayobo. All the French players back quickly behind the ball, and Ayobo gives it to one of them straight away. Magado, who charges down the inside right channel, gets past 2 white shirts. He's got Lily to beat now, getting back there as well at the back. It's Sitsu, and the referee has given a free kick for France on the near side, the right, but it's because the ball went over the hoardings, not because of an infringement by the Italian, so that won't count against Italy. So France restarting play on the broken line, right-hand side, and the whistle has blown for half-time, and everything has gone France's way in this one. I don't think Italy got the memo before the game that if they win, they go through potentially to the semi-finals. They've looked like a beaten team right from the start in this match, and France have been absolutely all over them. Of course, a French win here puts pressure on Germany, meaning that Germany have to avoid defeat against England later on, which, judging by England's form so far in these championships, will certainly be a very difficult task. But France, thanks to a stunning goal from Jérôme Pennison, which really stunned not only us in the commentary box, but the goalkeeper Marco Lamaccia in the Italian net as well, got Italy on the back foot. A second goal for France coming courtesy of Martin Baron as he cut in from the left-hand side and unleashed a drilled right-footed effort into the bottom right corner of Marco Lamacci's net. Means that the half-time score here in Berlin is France 2, Italy 0.
Well, there are some disappointed faces here inside this stadium in Berlin, and not all of them are Italian as well. Germany were kind of hoping for a draw, if you like, between these two sides. It might need Italy to have a few more shots on goal, just 3 shots so far in this game. 17 for France in this first half. Pete Selby, one of our match commentators, joins me as always here in the studio. And Pete, I think Italy have got problems. Paulo Yobo doesn't seem at the races at all.
Italy have got big problems. They're not getting Paulo Yobo into the game. France are playing extremely well. They're playing a very sensible brand of blind football, which is basically they know they've got plenty of space on the width. They know they've got Baron into the game on the left. And the other person on that side, for the right, for the Italians, is Paulo Yobo. He's able to get back to do his defensive work. He can't get forward. They're getting no traction up front. No one up there can hold the ball up, maybe from a long throw by the goalkeeper. They're not attacking the goal. They're no threat at all. And there's only one way this game's going, and it's going to the French.
We'll take a look at the highlights of the first half in a couple of moments. And France, at the moment, are looking to extend their stay here in Berlin at these IBSA Blind Football European Championships. Well, 2 teams going head-to-head, and players going head-to-head as well in the early stages. But Paulo Yobo, as we were saying, their threat, 4 goals so far, wayward with one of his efforts, and just 3 shots on target for Italy spells out a big message.
Yeah, the difference between 2 teams is that any Frenchman can take a shot at goal. They're all equally capable of scoring. They all possess the technique, the power and the skill to do so. But with Italy, there's only really D'Alessandro and Paulo Yobo. Neither of them are getting any service or having good games. It's shot after shot. Baron's causing all sorts of problems. But the opening goal itself came from possibly an unlikely source. Number 7, Jerome Pennisson, who was interesting. He was in the starting lineup. A bit of a question mark over why he was there. But here he is, shoots from distance from the broken line. That's one of the best goals of the tournament so far, from absolutely out of the blue and into the back of the net. Goalkeeper never moved at all, and as soon as that goal went in, I thought it might have woken up the Italian side, but in fact it actually encouraged the French more, and it was only a matter of time before they made it 2, and Baron there, instead of coming in from the left, just went straight down the centre, and the Italian defence just parted, and then the Frenchman slotted it home for a 2-goal advantage, thoroughly deserved as well. And I can only see it going one way, and I can only see France scoring more.
A potential goal for our goal of the tournament competition, actually. A good dribble from distance and a super strike into the bottom right-hand corner, giving the keeper absolutely no chance, whilst Baron is scoring for France. Italy are going through a barren spell in front of goal themselves. They need to get that changed very, very quickly. I'm fairly sure that will make our top 8 for the competition towards the end of the competition. Another tough tackle going in, and as you were saying there, Pete, and then it is a dangerous sport, this. These guys know that they're getting themselves into a battle, whether it be with the opposition or whether it be with the boards on the sides as well. So once again, if you're just joining us, it is France 2, Italy 0 at half-time in a game where a draw will take England and Germany through comfortably together. Anything else, and Germany have to sweat a little bit. Here is exactly what we mean. France and Italy right now, 2-0 to France. That would take France to 7 points, 1 above Germany. They would take them to -3 goal difference. So a draw tonight for Germany, if it was to stay as it is now, Pete, would mean that Germany go through. If France continue to score here and England get a big victory as they have done against everybody else so far in this group, Germany are in trouble. However, France victory, and Germany are in trouble anyway.
Yeah, if France win this game, which it looks like they are going to, 2 goals up and dominating, then it means that Germany will need a draw against England. Simple as that. At the moment, the way England are playing, that might be quite difficult for Germany, but at least they will know what they have to do. If Italy somehow turn it around and they get the win, then Germany, again, it will just be a point that they need. But possibly can get through with the defeat, but they will need an Italian victory. If I was a German fan, I'd want a draw or an Italian win, but at the moment, looks like neither will happen.
Let's take a look at Group B standings as they are now. They've just got 1 game to go, and it's a huge one in Group B as well. Pete has been saying that he fancies the winner of the competition will come from Group B. That was in the early stages until he saw England play those first 3 games, and that has sort of swayed him a little bit. Russia are nice and comfortably through. They've got 10 points. That's job done for them. Spain at 1 point above Turkey, so a win or a draw for Spain. It's in their own hands here, but a win for Turkey takes the holders through. Fail to beat Spain, and the holders are out. It's as simple as that in Group B. 1 more game to come. That is our last game of the day. Are the holders of the tournament going out, or can they find a big victory against the Spain team that held Russia in their game earlier in the tournament? Now let's look at the playoff picture and how it works out into the next stages of this competition. Semi-final games coming up tomorrow. The winner of Group A takes on the 2nd place team in Group B. So at the moment that looks like being England versus Spain or Turkey, and the opposite way around, the runner-up in Group B faces the winner of Group A. The first game at 5 o'clock, the second game at 7:30 tomorrow night. 9th place playoffs have already been settled. That will be between Romania and Georgia. Belgium await to see who finishes 4th in Group A. At the moment it looks like being Italy. Then we'll have the 5th place playoff at 7:30 on Friday, and then those 2 big games on Saturday. Make sure you're joining us. Our coverage will start around about 4:30 German time with the 3rd place playoff and of course the final. Top 4, Pete, let's just reiterate, top 4 get another journey out of this competition, don't they?
Yes, they do. If you finish in the top 4, then you will be going to the World Cup in Madrid next year. Of course, Spain, they will be there already because they're the host nation. So that 5th place playoff game might be very, very important. Yes, you want to finish 5th in the tournament, but you'll qualify for the World Cup as well.
Yeah, very interesting. In fact, if Germany go out and Turkey go out, they look like they could be the teams playing off in that 5th place playoff one, because Spain would have gone through. What a fantastic scenario to have. The locals will be out in force for that. We're going to cross over to our commentary team for the second half of this game. It is Mr. Jonathan Bell, Chips, as he's known to his mates, and Peter Selby.
Bon appetit. Thank you very much, Alan. Ready for this second period. France against Italy, with French team all over the Italians in that first period. And I really do hope, from an Italy perspective, that they've revisited their tactics and will actually go out in the second period and pepper the net of Julian Royer, because it was not good enough for France in the opening period of 20 minutes. Still a long way to go in this one. Italy, though, with a minor mountain to climb, needing at least 3 goals in order to have a shot at qualification for the semi-finals. So France all in blue will kick off in this second half from right to left. Baron over the ball at the moment, with the substitute for France, Hakim Erzaki, who's a very tall, stocky figure. And Italy defending the way, and away to my left in all white. Sunshine out here in Berlin. The sun's certainly shining on France in that first period. Baron down the left-hand side, coming towards the left side of the area. Immediate cuts on the right foot and scores. How about that for a start from France? 6 seconds into the second half, and France surely now are really sending out a message of intent to Germany and saying, this is what we can do on our day. How about you? Great goal from Baron, second of the game, 3-0.
Yeah, Baron, what a player, what a goal. And has that sealed the game for the French? 3 goals up against the Italians, 2 for Baron. And what a start for France in this second half. The Italians, well, whatever that was said at half-time, It hasn't worked at all. A lovely mazy dribble from a central position, out wide on the left, cut back to the centre, and then buried it past the keeper. No chance at all, and possibly no chance now for Italy to get back into this game once again. As I was talking to Alan at half-time, if France win, then, well, Germany, it's over to you. Baron's second goal of the game. And he's trying to win the ball back again inside Italian territory, and he's doing so. Edge of the D, right-footed shot wide of the near post. And again, the second half has started the way of the first. It's just wave after wave of bleu attack. Alain Le Bleu here in Berlin. By the left corner for France, trying to clear their lines. It's with D'Alessandro. D'Alessandro inside the D, runs into the goalkeeping square, and the French keeper can then throw the ball downfield. Needs to bounce in his own half, does so. Poliobo tries to chest the ball, is unsuccessful, and it's with Italy now, up to the broken line. Lovely mazy run from halfway. Here goes Maro, straight downfield, brought down by the last man, who was Riviere. Now the referees, they've come over, they've given the free kick to Italy, around about 8 metres from goal, and I think it's going to be also a yellow card as well. We'll just have to wait and see. No, nothing being given. It was the last man. For the referee's going back now to the scene of the incident. It was the last man, and it was a deliberate trip. Yes, there's the yellow card being given to Gaël Riviere of France. And, well, for them, really, I think they'll be relieved that they brought him down, because the run was going straight towards the D, and he was the last man, was the French number 4. And it meant he would have had a clear shot at goal, and, well, they'd rather have the yellow card given to their number 4 than a goal for Italy, giving them the confidence and getting them back to within 2. So free kick here for Italy. Golden opportunity. They really need to take these early on in this second half if they're going to get back into the game. Central position. 8 metres from goal. 4 men in the wall. Goalkeeper standing to the left from our position. The 2 posts being tapped. That's the near right. And now it will be the far left-hand side where the goalkeeper's situated. Wearing that bib, of course, because he's got the same strip as the Italian side. It's going to be the youngster, Poliobo. On his left foot, shoots, and that goes wide of the left-hand post. Didn't get a good connection on it. And, well, pretty much sums up the Italian attack so far. Goalkeeper rolls out underarm. Downfield for France. Intercepted by Mauro, who had that run earlier, and he's doing the same again. Stops on the broken line, goes back and gets the ball. He's under pressure from his opposite number 6 Baron. It's still with Mauro on the left, just loses out, and now it's cleared by Italy and brought downfield by Francesco Cavallotto. He's on the field now, and on the right it's with Hakim Arazeki. Now Arazeki's been pushed back inside his own third, and he will get a free kick for France. So France once again looking on the bench for Italy. You've got the likes of Cavallotto and also Matteo Situ. But at the moment, struggling France is really, if you're an Italian supporter, trying to think of ways that you can get back into the game, maybe drop Pagliolo deep, or maybe put him up top and try and ping long balls to him. At the moment, it just looks like the French so far who are going to extend their lead. Even in the fouls department, only just the one so far. France down the right, poor ball forward, intercepted by Mauro. Again, another run for Italy. Goes into the kickboard on the left, just inside the French half. And, well, if this is a team foul, which I think it will be, then that's going to be the second of the half, which is only a minute 40 old. So possibly the only way they're going to get back into this game is by 8-metre penalties, which really doesn't show you an awful lot about the Italian attack at the moment if they're going to rely on set pieces. But again, it's going to be another team foul.
For France, number 10, first personal for second team foul for pushing.
So the second team foul for France, and a free kick to Italy. On the left, D'Alessandro flips it to Poliobo, can't control, it's just not been his day so far, and here goes Baron over halfway, straight downfield, stops by the broken line, switches play to the right, off the board for Italy. Arazeki back to the halfway line, turns, goes again down the right, switches to Baron. He knows he's there on the left, but lets it come off the kickboard, listens for the shake of those ball bearings inside the football. And it's over on the right again. This time Italy clear through Mauro, who's been by far their most impressive player. He's only been on the field 2 minutes, and he keeps the ball from going out of place inside the D, and it just goes into the goalkeeper's hands after a bit of pinball in the area, and still no danger.
So down the left-hand side, once again, Baron, the furthest man forward for France, and Lebert's come to join him as well. One-on-one with Lily here. Lebert goes into the penalty area and scores into the far corner of the net. He tried to control it, it slipped under his foot. That fooled Lily, and Lebert had an angle to fire in towards the far corner of the net. Past Marco Lamaccia at his left-hand post, and France lead now by 4 goals to 0. And we said before this game that goal difference could be big, of course, because at the moment, if France win and Germany lose, it's as simple as that. France go through. However, if Germany draw later and France manage to get a real shipload of goals in this one, then they may be in contention. Italy have called a timeout. They're really going to have to think long and hard. Well, it's going to have to be short and hard because they've got a minute to talk about this, but how on earth they get back in this game? So far, it has gone disastrously wrong for them. Heads down at the moment for Italy on that far side in front of the coach, in particular Mauro. And let's talk about Mauro for a moment, Pete, because he went on the marauding run a few moments ago. He got the free kick right on the edge of the penalty area, which meant that Riviere got a yellow card, of course. But he's not starting matches for Italy. It's a bit late now to talk about starting lineup, seeing as though this is the final group game, but he's actually offering a little bit more than anyone else.
I wouldn't even put it as a little bit more, I'd put it as an awful lot more. Yes, in his early stages they conceded the 2 goals, but he's been the player who's brought the ball forward from deep inside his own half. He's caused chaos, and he's brought 2 fouls against France. And, well, it's maybe a little bit too late, really, for Italy. Again, a draw won't do, so it's not that they need 4 goals to get back into the game. They need 5, because a draw is no good for them. So I'm not quite sure where 5 goals are going to come from. Yes, we've got plenty of time left, but I can only envisage more goals coming for France and the likes of and it's a prime example, actually, looking at the goal scorers in this game. Martin Baron with 2, Jerome Penisson, who were surprised to be on the field, scoring from the broken line, and then we've got David Lebert. They're an all-round good team, are the French. It's just a question mark, their performance against Romania. How did they manage to throw away 2 points there? And well, they might still advance to the semi-finals. Coming onto the field, it's the youngster Francesco Cavallotto. And maybe they should have brought him on beforehand. Also coming onto the field of play as well is the Italian number 5, and that's Matteo Zizou. So Zizou and Cavallotto.
And also, Pete, at the start of this game, I said that Italy have got a big history in blind football. They've had a programme since 1986, and we're now in 2017. In 2015, they finished 7th, and they will not have an opportunity, as it stands, to finish any higher than 7th, when they will face, in the 7th-8 playoff, Belgium, and that will be a complete repeat of Hereford 2 years ago. There's no progression at the moment from Italy, despite these youngsters coming through.
Yeah, I think it's because of the youngsters, obviously Cavallotto and Poliobo, who's on the ball, going back to the halfway line. He's inside the centre circle. He's only 15 years old. Cavallotto only a year older, so 2 real youngsters, and they're going to be mainstays of the team for quite a number of years. So you got to remember, here goes Baron, edge of the D, shot blocked by Cavallotto. Now Mauro brings it up to halfway, goes to ground, fair tackle, and Voy was called. Over on the right for France is Labert. Down the right-hand side, there's still 3 men forward for France, so they want more and more. Cavallotto, lovely drag back inside the centre circle. Here goes the youngster over the halfway line, stops his blue boots, trying to get the foot on the ball. He's got to his right-hand side, Mauro, but he's just pushed off by the experienced Baron, who goes after the ball down the left for France. Inside the Italian third, cleared by Italy up to the halfway line. Mauro just stumbles into his opponent on the halfway line, and again, all France have to do is just knock the ball long and say, well, you've got to chase us, so we can pass it down to Baron on the left all day, and he will score if he drifts into the D, and he does so there. An easy hat-trick for France and an easy hat-trick for Baron. It's 5 for France, 3 for Baron, and well, it's easier like for the blue of France down that right hand side. I mentioned that all you have to do is just pass it down the left, because they know Baron's going to be there, and if he picks it up he can drift inside and he's scoring at ease. It's a hat-trick for Martin Baron and France. Well, at the moment, it's 5. It could be an awful lot more come the end of this, and they're really sending a signal out to the likes of Germany in their game against England after this, and also possibly any opponents in the semi-final stage. I think that is game over, you can safely say. In fact, just as I say that, plenty of the coaches for the English side, they have seen enough, and they are now leaving to get ready for the next game. Coming downfield, it's Arizeki, shoots into the back of the net. It's 6 for France. Well, that's a run from the halfway line by the big number 10. And I said Hakim Arizeki when he was on the field, he's got a bit of a shot on him, but I didn't expect him to gallop downfield with the ball. And well, the Italian defence was nowhere at all, and he had the simple task of getting as close to the goalkeeping square as he could, and a right-footed shot past the keeper, who never saw it coming. It's 6-0.
Well, it seems like France was saving their attacking threat in the Romania game for this one. The graceful giant there, Hakim Arizeki, making it 4 goals in 4 minutes for France. And I was saying at half-time that Italy would be picking things apart, trying to improve for the second period. Well, that memo's been thrown straight into the bin. And a foul from Ayobo now in front of the French technical area. And everything is going against the Italians, who will be making a substitution in a moment. Getting ready on the far side is Giuseppe Catrinella. But for now, at the back, France have the ball. And I think also it may be a change of goalkeeper for Italy, with Ludovico Ludovici getting ready. He did come on in the latter stage of the game against England last night. We thought that that was an awful result for Italy, losing 6-0 to England, but you thought, fair enough, England are absolutely rampant so far at these championships, but France are the complete opposite of that, and they've still managed to stick 6 in the back of the Italian net. So a double change for Italy. Going off is Matteo Sistu, and also joining him is Marco Lamacchia as well, to replace by the substitute goalkeeper, the number 12, Ludovico Ludovici, and also Giuseppe Catrinella. So it's a free kick for France just inside their defensive third, far side there right. Stood over the ball, Riviere just behind Labert. And Labert now takes the layoff, runs forward with it, tries to get towards the halfway line, stops on the edge of his own centre circle before turning away from Ayobo again. Nice Marseille roulette over the halfway line, and he just clutches the ball there, Labert, as he went down, because he knew straight away that that would be a free kick. A second foul in a minute from Ayobo, who really has to make sure his temperament stays at a reasonable level, otherwise this could get very much out of hand for Italy. A third team foul recorded, a third personal foul recorded as well from Paul Ayobo. Labert slowly getting up to an upward position on his knees at the moment, and that's not a comfortable sight for France. Of course, still in the balance as to whether or not they will progress to the semi-finals, but if they do, they will definitely want Labert to be fit.
Yeah, what you don't want if you're an Italian fan, and for any viewer out there, is the Italian side full of youngsters to lose so much heart and start committing fouls left, right and centre and really fall apart. They've been an attractive team to watch in this blind football championships, especially with the youngsters on the field, and played some enterprising football at times. It's on the left-hand kickboard again with France. Paul Ayobo trying to win it back, and Baron gets the better of him and his fellow number 6, running down the left, stops it before going out to play. Now drifting around the edge of the D. Right-footed shot wide this time of the left-hand post. I thought the net was going to bulge once again. Baron's causing chaos on the right, on the left and down the centre. And it's going to be a substitution for France, and it's going to be their goalkeeper coming off, and the substitute goalkeeper coming on without any gloves on. He's that confident. And well, why not? You're 6 goals up. So corner to France from the left. Baron once again will take it along with Azeki, who scored that wonderful goal, the 5th for France. He's going to take it around the edge of the D. Chance for a right-footed shot. Tips over the top of the crossbar. Good save by the goalkeeper. But once again, it's just too easy. It's too easy for the French at the moment. They can run around the edge of that D all day long, and they're getting clean strikes at goal. And well, there wasn't much of a cleaner strike than that all championships. Good tip over by the goalkeeper. The goals actually have been widened and also in height as well, so any high shots, they're going to be really difficult for the goalkeepers to stretch and tip over, but they did very well there. There's the substitute goalkeeper. You can see, very casual, with no goalkeeping gloves on. But then again, you are 6 goals to the 4, so why not indeed? It's a lovely early afternoon here in Berlin at the IBSA Blind Football European Championships, last games of the group stages. Corner taken from the right, switched over to the left where you know Baron's going to be, and he picks the ball up at the second opportunity from Paul Iobo, who fights back well, the youngster, tries to bring it out of his own third, does so. Now he drifts to the centre, to the halfway line, stopped again by the blue shirts of France. Baron gets an interception and inadvertently pokes it towards goal, and it goes into the arms of the goalkeeper, who throws quickly down the right-hand side, bounces a couple of times inside his own half, but again it doesn't stick up front for the Italians, and it's mopped up by number 8, David Labert, who's won a free kick as well, just inside his own half. So even more time for France to clear their lines, but also Italy, if this goes against them, this will be the 4th team foul, and we've got a good 15 minutes left of this second half. So with 4 team fouls already, it could get extremely messy for the Italians here. Yes, that's the 4th team foul. Remember, you're allowed 5 in one half. Any more than that, it will result in an 8-metre penalty kick, and they've got 14.5 minutes to survive with only 1 more team foul allowed. So this really could unravel for this young Italian team. Free kick taken by Labert. He's inside his own half, switches to the right-hand side, deep inside now, the Italian third. Good pick up by Arizeki, left-footed shot, scuffed into the goalkeeper's arms. Didn't get good purchase on that shot, and it runs into the goalkeeper's hands, who quickly throws downfield, but again it doesn't stick up front for Italy. It's going to run through for a goal kick. Well marshalled actually by Arizeki, out for that goal kick, and the new goalkeeper will now throw downfield. This is a substitute goalkeeper for France, Valentin Lebuman. And it goes down the left for Baron to switch sides.
Very industrious performance this from not only Baron but the French team as a whole, and Arizeki trying the showboating now, trying to backheel it through the legs of Cavallotto, but the ball is switched towards the near side. Baron back defending and bulldozing his way towards the halfway line. He has to slightly check towards the left momentarily because Iobo was there. Labert picks it up now on the near side, the left, on the halfway line, just tickling the ball in towards the centre circle, then tries to skip past Iobo. It struggles to first time around. Iobo not giving this one up. It's a fair challenge from the number 7 this time around. Of course, he's done 3 personal fouls in this game, has to be careful, and in the end he just flies on the floor, and I don't think he's got any intention of getting back up. Not only is the weather nice here in Berlin, the more pressing concern is Italy losing, and I think he's a bit despondent at the moment, is Paul Iobo. He's back up now, though. Arizeki on the far side, the right. Nice turn away from Cavallotto again, and then he makes it a second turn around as well. Gets towards the broken line. Arizeki, the graceful giant on the ball at the moment, just toying with Cavallotto. The ball's forced towards the halfway line. The ball is played diagonally across, and it's gone past 2 Italians under their feet, and to Baron on the left-hand side near the byline. Cuts it on the right foot, in the area again, outside of the post. You can hear the ting of the woodwork there as Baron struck that low, aiming for a 4th for the game. And the funny thing about it, Pete, is before the game, you and Alan were saying that there are no French players on the top scorers list for France, and there'll be a couple after this one. Baron's certainly up there.
Yeah, I mentioned that all the players for France are very good. They're very good, a very solid team. They can all score goals, they can all strike a ball, but they haven't got maybe the spark and the superstar like Paul Iobo. But unfortunately, it might just be one game too far for him, and he'll be back again. He's off the field of play at the moment. There you can see Paul Iobo, and he will be back. He's only 15 years old, but yeah, very impressive display by France. It's inside their own half, with number 4, Gaël Rivière, on the left-hand side, fighting off the attention of Fabrizio D'Alessandro, who's now on for Italy. But the experienced number 9 for Italy wins it back on his right. Again, he loses it to Baron, who beats 1, beats 2 down the left-hand side, approaching the D, in the centre, shot, well saved by the goalkeeper's legs from, again, 6 metres out. Very similar, all of Baron's runs down that left, and then as soon as he gets it on his right foot, really spells danger. It's over on the right-hand side, opposite Baron, who's 6 metres from goal. Arizeki does well to bring it back to halfway, still got possession. He's going to leave it for David Labert, who's going all the way inside his own half now. He's approaching his own D, and well, Labert has lost out to D'Alessandro, just shoves the experienced Italian to the ground. Nothing given by the referee, and now Labert comes back over halfway, straight down the centre, inside the centre circle. He's got Baron to his left, he's got on his right-hand side Arizeki. He goes himself, and his shot is poor and goes wide. but it shows you that you can actually walk through this Italian defence at the moment at will. Long throw down, just comes off the right boot of a Frenchman, and it goes out for a corner to Italy. And the first bit of pressure that Italy have had pretty much inside these first 8 minutes.
Lebert down at the moment on the edge of the centre circle. He's laid on his front and he's holding his right ankle. He slowly gets back to his feet now. The referee has come over, but Lebert has been on the floor a lot in this game for France, and he always seems to be a bit of an injury worry. He's been a very important player in the French team today, one of the many cogs that have made them tick. Him and Baron in particular have been stars of the French show. Baron's got the ball now, midway inside his own half. It's Mauro who's battling with possession, battle of the sixers, and the ball loose on the far side near the corner. D'Alessandro tentatively coming towards the ball. Good footwork from him to try and work it away from Riviere, who Riviere's not really had many touches of the ball at the back for France, and that just sort of demonstrates how little he's been penetrated by the Italians. Baron, midway inside his own half, near side the left. Still, it's Mauro, the one who's taking him to task. Baron plays it over the halfway, though, with a low pass forward. Cavalotta gets a foot on it, and now comes on the inside left channel, stabs it forwards, and Cavalotta seems to lack confidence for me, the youngster. He doesn't kick it with force or much confidence. Baron at the other end, complete contrast. Shot comes in, cannons off the shins there of Catarinella. Towards the right-hand side, Arizeki again doing the back heels away from Cavalotta, which certainly won't do his confidence any good. Arizeki still toying with him, right-hand side, goes for a shot on the angle, and it hits the front row of the stand behind the goal. And we're back with the goalkeeper, the referee just making sure there's only one ball on the pitch, because that shot there from Arizeki actually bounced off the stand and back onto the pitch when another ball was about to be used. So now we have the one ball, and on the halfway line, it's D'Alessandro surging down the centre. Lebert again, the one across, shielding Riviere behind him. Lebert comes across to the left side of his own penalty area, turns away once from D'Alessandro. That's a nasty collision of heads between those two, and then once again he flies it into Mauro, and another theatrical fall from Lebert sees him lay on his front. And that's not the first time in the past few moments Lebert has been on the floor in that position, almost as if he's waiting for a massage, it seems. He gets up eventually and he feels his head, but that was a nasty collision between him and D'Alessandro a moment ago. It's another foul against Italy, which will be, I think, their 5th of the game, and we're going to get that confirmed, because if it is the case, then Italy definitely are living a very charmed life at the moment. Timeout has been called by France, who certainly will be talking on the far side with their coach at the moment, Samir Gassama, about how they can exploit the Italian defence and get another team foul out of them, which will result in an 8-metre penalty.
Yeah, 5 team fouls for Italy, and they are 6-0 down. It's going to be a very long 10 minutes indeed. And, well, France now, they will be looking forward to the game later today between Germany and England. In fact, next up, 5 o'clock local time, Germany versus England, and they will know that an England victory will mean that they will go forward into the semi-finals, and it will be Germany then who will be disappointed, and they will not reach the last 4. This means that France will be on 7 points, Germany currently on 6. Well, a draw at the moment for Germany would still be enough, so France will be hoping for an England victory, and Germany know that a draw for them will be enough for them to go through. So a really intriguing game, and well, part of the questions that I'll ask a member of the French side afterwards. You see the Germans actually already in. There'll be a big crowd for that game. And one of the questions I'm going to ask the French team is, well, will you stick around and be here for that match, or are you going to go back to the hotel and listen to the commentary? A real dominating display by France. Again, you have to put this into context. The draw in their previous match against Romania was desperately disappointing. The players are back out on the field now after the timeout. And if they had that 3 points, then, well, they would have been clearing this group and not relying on other teams making or helping them out in progressing in this tournament. Free kick for France inside their own half. Labert over halfway, still inside the centre circle. Now drifts into the centre, past the broken line. No tackle comes in. Shot from distance into the chest of the Italian number 2, and that's the experienced Giuseppe Cantalaria. He's now on the field. Labert picks it up again on halfway, taps it forward. He tried to find Arizeki, didn't make good connection, and only finds Cavallotto. Cavallotto gets tackled by Baron in the centre circle now, drifts on the left-hand side. Baron at pace in the D, a slight angle, so he goes in the near post with his shot and into the side netting, and it will be a goal kick for Italy once again. They have 5 team fouls, Italy, so if they do commit one more, it will be a 8-metre penalty kick. Long ball forward by Italy is too far for D'Alessandro to try and chase down, and it goes through for a goal kick to France. The French substitute goalkeeper, Valentin Lebon. He throws downfield and into the opposition D, comes off an Italian leg, and that will be a corner to France from the right. Arizeki will take, and he's asking for Baron to come over. Baron is going to stand behind Arizeki and just nudge it forward, or is it going to be the other way around? Labert's lurking on the edge of the D. It's going to be Arizeki running deep towards the broken line. Just miscontrols it, so he goes back to halfway to control. Stops, switches over to Labert on the left. He's got Baron in front of him. He's holding up by the kickboard. He goes back to the broken line. Back heel trying to find Lebon is unsuccessful. And it's cleared downfield by the Italians. All the way down for a goal kick. And with 9 minutes remaining, it's 6-0.
And also 5 team fouls against Italy, which will be a very pressing concern for them. France, they know if they get 10 goals, then they can actually cheer on Germany just for a draw rather than defeat. But of course, that's still pretty speculative. And of course, we'll have to wait and find out in the next 9 minutes whether France can notch a few more onto their tally. Arizeki stood on the far side with Labert just in front of him. It'll be the latter to worm his way around the Italian defence, who have got all 4 men back. Labert looks to square it across the face, actually, but it just goes straight in front of the goalkeeper, Ludovico Lavisi, who can claim the ball, throw it down the left-hand side. Search for Cavallotto, who's broken over the halfway line, but Labert wins it back. It's a 2-on-2 here momentarily for France. Labert going alone, though. Right-hand side of the area, easily gets past his man. Shot comes in. Not so easy to get past Ludovici, though. Gets down to his left, just palm it away. Sort of waist height there, but he managed to just put his left hand towards the left-hand side of his body and put it out for a corner on the far side. Baron this time will be joining Arizeki to take this corner. Morgado on the bench there, just jogging on the spot, ready to get back onto the field of play. Of course, the guard behind the goal is Manuel Morgado, his father. Arizeki, right-hand side, plays it back for Labert. Labert is almost about to get ready to strike, but D'Alessandro gets there first to put a big right foot through it and divert it behind at the other end. Labomin will throw it forward, overarm with the bare hands towards the near side. Mauro comfortably intercepts, but in front of him it's his teammate getting the ball off him, D'Alessandro, and those two tussling away. D'Alessandro throws Mauro on the floor and says, look mate, I'm older and I'm your captain, I'll have it. And then he kicks it towards the far side. It all breaks down unceremoniously for Italy, and if anything could sum up the game for the Italians, it would be that moment of action there. France breaking over halfway, central position. Labert drifting slightly towards the right now, shoots on the angle, straight in at the front post for Ludovici, and the ball, like a hot potato, just can't be held in his hands, and he palms it behind for a corner. Stinging drive from the bar, who certainly deserves a second goal for him in this game. France making a change. Michel Baron settling for the hat-trick and leaving the field now to be replaced by Fabrice Morgado, regular captain for France. Of course, not starting today, so Baron has the captain's armband instead. I think the two forgot to switch captain's armbands there, so technically no captain on the pitch at the moment for the French. But it's the football that matters, and they are threatening a 7th goal in this contest. A corner on the far side, with Arizeki once again the man in that corner, with Morgado just in front of him. Morgado around half a foot smaller than Arizeki. Lays it forward for Morgado, right corner of the area, coming in from the right, laterally onto the left, gets the ball stuck under his feet, but he still has the ball back to goal, turns on the 8-metre penalty spot, he shoots, it hits Catarinella, That may have stung him a bit there because he's twitching his left arm a bit as it cannoned off it. Out for another corner on the far side, and once again it's the same combination of Hakim Arazeki and Fabrice Morgado that will take this one. Once again, 4 men back for Italy. The guard behind the goal just giving his instructions to the French players, and of course it's father talking to son here with Morgado on the ball, trying to wriggle away from Cavallotto. He clears away though the latter towards halfway, and now a rare touch for Riviere. He's been on the pitch for the whole match, but he's not had much to do. He plays it to the right hand side, and Arazeki, the 2 number 10s. Bit of a mismatch in terms of size, but Cavallotto putting up a good fight, but a nice back heel from Arazeki, just calming things down. It rolls across the broken line. Lebert, left of centre, back to goal. Now turns, very easy for him to do so. Mauro trying to battle with him and make it a bit tougher, but Lebert gets a fortuitous break and shoots towards goal. Palmed away by the goalkeeper, straight at him, but he still had to make sure he diverted away from goal. The ball's still alive on the far side with Arazeki turning away and toying with Cavallotto. Goes into the area, Arazeki lunges in with a big left knee, and the ball just squirms its way through to Ludovisi, who could just bowl it forward for Mauro and give the defence a bit of respite.
Yeah, Mauro inside his own half, just being pushed to the ground there, and gets to his feet on the right. He's battling hard to try and win the ball back. There's still fight left in this Italian side. He doesn't want to fight too hard because remember they're on 5 team fouls. The ball's back inside French territory, flipped from the left corner all the way across the halfway line to Arazeki on the right in front of the referee's dugout. He's inside the centre circle, got possession. There's always one man up front for France, and that's normally Baron on the left. He's been replaced by the number 3 Morgado, and Morgado now has it on the left. Now drifts inside the D, right-footed shot goes wide of the right hand upright. Another shot, and it's too easy for France to get across that D. Normally well marshalled by the Italians, but not today. D'Alessandro picks it up, pot shot from distance, comes off, and a French defender, and Lily can clear out of his own D. He actually fails to get anything on that, and a wild swing by D'Alessandro just goes out of play for a goal kick. Long throw out again down the right hand side, trying to find Arazeki. He controls, pokes it towards the D. He's going to try and charge this one down. It goes past the goalkeeping square, and now they're trying to fight to keep it in play. They can't, and it goes out for a goalkeeping restart once again for the team of Italy. All in white from left to right. 6-0 down to the French, who are in blue from right to left. Cavallotto switches from left to right. Crossfield ball, trying to find number 6. And that's Mauro down the right. Just stubs his toe as he tries a shot on goal. Brought out now by David Lebert. Up to halfway, past the halfway, drifts into the centre. Now edge of the D, can't get a shot off on goal. Bundles it wide, and it's going to be a corner to France on the left. And with just over 5 minutes remaining, well, France really putting the marker down here. Obviously the game after this at 5 o'clock local time, Germany against England. They're going to need a bit of a favour from the English, because Germany will only need a draw then to go through. I wonder what message, if any, the French have for England, who decimated France actually by 7-0 earlier in this tournament. That's one of the questions of my task actually, Jonathan, at full time. Corner taken from the left, it's run up to the broken line, a chance for a shot, scuffed shot, blocked by the defence, comes back out to Arazeki on the right. He's tackled by D'Alessandro, who just prods it downfield. He follows up that prod into the centre circle, so he's leading the attack, and it's just broken on the left, and once again he's snuffed out that attack by this French defence, and they go back inside their own half, and they've got all the time in the world. Well, they've got 5 minutes or so, and they want to probably just keep the ball inside play, just to keep the clock ticking. Arazeki inside the final third, again comes in from that right side, over to the left, leaves it for Morgado, hugging the kickboard on the left. Tackle comes in, avoids that, into the D, comes off an Italian leg, and it goes out for another corner. And well, Italy, they need something to get back into. Well, they're not going to get back into this game, but they're not getting a kick at the moment, absolutely whatsoever. So corner. No, in fact, it's been overturned. It's not going to be a corner, it's going to be a goal kick. Oh, a little bit of respite there for Italy. Throw down the left to find Cavallotto. Controls. Doesn't move into the centre circle. Tackled by his fellow number 10, Arazeki. Lovely back heel, and then follows the ball up onto the edge of the D. Chance for a shot. No, he's going to stop it by the D on the right. He's going to move over to the centre, or just back to the broken line. He maybe wants to do another back heel. All the tricks are coming out now for France. And here goes D'Alessandro downfield, trying to get a bit of respectability in the scoreline. He's inside the final third, but he's now trapped against the kickboard, and if he's given away a team foul here, then Italy will be in a lot of trouble. It's going to be actually a foul for the Italians.
Just seen that the referee eventually got that decision right. He gave the corner initially, but on the replay there, clarification, it was indeed a goalkeeping restart, and the referee's been very busy here with another free kick, this time in favour of France.
Yeah, good play by D'Alessandro down the left, and he managed to win this free kick. Holding is the call, and it's going to be by the left-hand kickboard. 12 metres from the goal. The French wall is back inside the D, although being 6-0 up, even if it flies in the top corner, it's not the end of the earth for the French. Goal difference really doesn't come into it. So free kick from the left. Two posts are being tapped. And here goes Cavallotto. Shoots from distance, just wide of the right-hand post. And the goalkeeper went with his feet there. I'm not entirely sure he was entirely confident about going with his hands. We mentioned he came on without gloves, but really possibly should have done better. If he dived, he would have been able to hold on to that. But I wonder if it came off of Arizeki, number 10. So Cavallotto just moves it to the right, now strikes it, takes a little deflection, and that took it wide and with his boot. So I'll put it down as a good save actually, but if he went with his hands, I think he would have been an awful lot better going for that with his hands, because he would have been able to control the ball inside his goalkeeping square and keep hold of it rather than poke it around for his corner. Anyway, it's going to be a corner to Italy. Shot comes in near post, does well this time, the goalkeeper again using his legs, and it's going to be another corner from that right-hand side. So corner to Italy. Wonderful conditions here in Berlin on this day 6 of the IBSA Blind Football European Championships. Bathed in sun are the crowd here, and we're expecting a big crowd to be piling through the gates anytime soon for the Germany versus England match. Corner's taken to the edge of the D. Cavallotto controls on the broken line, pushed off it by Arizeki, but fighting back is Cavallotto. Pokes the ball to the near right-hand side. And well, it's going to be run out now by the French. Crossfield ball again over towards the right. Arizeki, if he can keep this in, he can maybe start to move, slides to the ground, can't keep it from going out of play.
Said this at the end of the first half, Pete, and I'm going to say it again. Italy, their only win here is the fact that they not have yet conceded an 8-metre penalty, but right on cue, a foul goes in from D'Alessandro. I think I may just have cursed the Italians. I do apologise. The card is indeed up, and it will be an 8-metre penalty for France. Talk about perfect timing, eh? So it's going to be an 8-metre penalty for the French, who have got an opportunity to stick a 7th into the Italian net. And stepping up, it looks like Arizeki, the big number 10, is going to have a pop. He's already got one to his name as Hakim Arizeki. It was his first goal of these championships, where he scored a super strike, blasting it past Ludovico Ludovisi. Can Arizeki beat the Italian substitute goalkeeper for a second time in this game? If he does, there is still a slim chance that France can get the 10 goals required to push Germany towards needing a victory tonight rather than just a draw. But of course, that is really in the back of the French minds, because I think it's quite unlikely. 4 goals in the last 4 minutes, like they started the game in this half. My director very accurately telling me. So, can Arizeki get them off to the perfect start in this final 4 minutes? The post tap behind the goal by Manuel Morgado. And Arizeki crouches down. It's a long way down for Arizeki, a very tall figure indeed. And I expect if he does go for one stride, it will be quite a significant one. He stands hands on hips, in all blue, ready to take this one. The guide has done his work behind the goal now as he taps the far post. Almost forgot it there, did Manuel? No, he's doing it again. Just to make sure. So Arizeki, no excuses if he misses this one. Right-footed takes it into the back of the net. No mistake from 8 metres out. Hakim Arizeki gets his second of the game, and France amass a sensational 7 and have really took Italy by storm.
Yeah, 7th heaven for France, and I'll be amazed if they don't stick around for the following game. And if they do get to the semi-finals, they're really sending out a message to the others and saying, look, we are here and we mean business. We might have had the odd slip-up against England and the odd slip-up against Romania, but when we get it right, we are a force in this European Championships. Three goals in 3.5 minutes are needed if they're going to get past the total of Germany so far, but they're going to try and fight hard for that. France up to halfway. David Lebert turns. Now he's going to run towards goal against the disheartened white shirts of Italy. Back into his own half. Now he starts his slalom run, goes past D'Alessandro. And D'Alessandro, the captain, is not going to give in. They're going to make it as difficult as they can for the French with only 3 minutes remaining. Tussling on our near side, just inside their own half, but it's Morgado up towards the edge of the D, just pushed out by Cavallotto, who just knocks it forward by 5 yards, up to halfway. Arazeki's down there as well, and he's on a hat-trick, Arazeki, going down the right. He's going to stop and then come inside. Arazeki just momentarily loses the ball. Now he switches play to on this left-hand side, Morgado, and again just loses play, and that goes out for a goal kick.
Italian restart then from the left. Can they get a shot in towards Lubomwin's goal? He's only made the one save since coming on as a substitute, the man with no gloves. And I'm sure that would have been communicated from the sideline by the Italian coach that, look, you're playing against a goalkeeper now with no gloves. Prove to him that he shouldn't be being so complacent, but that has not been the case at all as the ball is switched from left to right. Arizeki now has it. And again, a battle between the 10s, and Cavallotto has been left very exposed in this game. And Arizeki again just managing to glide past him. He comes a bit unstuck, though, as does Arizeki, should I say. Back heels it nicely towards Labar. Labar, well tackled by D'Alessandro. Labar still trying to maraud his way down the centre, comes out towards the left, comes in field now, central position, worming his way through the centre. He actually took a swipe there at Casarinella rather than the ball. The ball then squirms towards the edge of the Italian centre circle, and I think Italy are just wanting this full-time whistle to be blown here. They're still going to have to play for another 90 seconds. Morgado goes for a shot, he lost his footing, it hit his standing leg rather than the striking one, and Cavallotto just clears away the danger over halfway for now, because France will no doubt come back once again. Riviere with the ball, just short of the halfway line on the right-hand side, switches it diagonally with a low pass towards the near side of the left. Morgado turns, uses the bounce off the kickboard very efficiently indeed, trying to battle his way down the left side of the area, manages to win that scrum off there between him and Giuseppe Casarinella, the latter getting the final touch on the ball and putting it behind for a corner. Just over 60 seconds left. France aiming for maybe 3 more. It's very difficult, of course, to be able to achieve that. That'd be 1 every 30 seconds, which would be quite incredible. And that would not only be a case of them ruining missed opportunities in this game perhaps, but games of course like Romania where they failed to get on the score sheet. Morgado's shot there cannons off an Italian leg and out of play to the far side for another France corner, this time on the right hand side. Little Large going across to take it. Fabrice Morgado, the number 3, and also Arizeki as well, but a substitution will be made for France first, and Lebert craps the crowd here before he leaves the pitch. A standing ovation from a few as he just trudges off on the far side with the assistance of the referee who's chaperoning him as he leaves the field on the far side through the gate. And Baron will come on, the man already on a hat-trick. Can he get a very impressive 4th? Not many players have managed to get more than 3 goals in a game so far. Paulo Yobo's actually managed it. He's not playing at the moment for Italy. Satai as well has achieved that feat, but it is indeed very rare. Daniel Martin as well, Antonio Martin should I say, did achieve 4 goals in 1 game right at the start for Spain against Georgia. Of course, that Group B, and Group B does conclude tonight as well. 7:30 kickoff local time, 6:30 UK time, as Spain lock horns with Turkey to decide which one of them, maybe both of them, will be able to progress to the semi-finals. But actually it would be more accurate to say that it will be one or the other. As for this group though, it is England against Germany next. England are already through. A point will secure them as group winners. Germany, at the moment, need to just avoid defeat. If France get 3 more goals in the next 20 seconds, which they're not going to do, especially with Arizeki running out of room like that, then France will just be relying on England to beat Germany. So it really will be all riding on that one. And that really sets it up nicely. If this game was a draw, which we feared it could be on paper, then it would have meant that the England-Germany game didn't really mean that much. But now it's going to mean a hell of a lot, especially for France in blue, who win this game comfortably by 7 goals to 0. Italy bow out of the group stages in very sad fashion for them. They just could not click today. Getting absolutely thumped, not for the first time in this competition as well. Of course, they suffered a 6-0 reverse against England only 24 hours ago. Italy will go into the 7th place playoff then against Belgium on Friday. As for France though, they'll be hoping to be back tomorrow in the semi-final. Will they be there? Find out later on. England against Germany is the next game. That kicks off at 5 o'clock local time, which is just under 2 hours away. For now though, we'll focus on the fallout from this one as France rampant with a 7-0 success over despondent Italy. Very soon we'll be able to hear on the pitch from Martin Baron, I believe, the hat-trick hero for France today. Of course, number of players getting on the score sheet for France, I think responding to the words of Alan March and Pete Selby before the game, identifying that there were no French players on the top 17 list of goal scorers at these championships, but Martin Baron has propelled himself right up there, as has Jérôme Penisson with a great goal at the start of the game. Hakim Arizeki got 2 and David Lebert made his tally for the tournament too as well with his goal in the second half. But it is indeed all about Martin Baron, the French captain, hat-trick hero for Le Bleu today, who wins 7-0, and we can hear from him now.
A fabulous victory today. What changed from your performance against Romania, today's fabulous victory?
Hier seulement nul contre la Roumanie. Aujourd'hui, il a changé tout et vous performez très bien, gagné d'une manière fabuleuse. Qu'est-ce que vous avez changé pour présenter de cette manière ici?
On n'a pas changé énormément de choses. On a joué avec beaucoup d'envie et aujourd'hui la performance a été au rendez-vous. La chance nous a souri aussi. Et on a réussi ce qu'on devait faire aussi hier.
Oh yeah, we didn't change even so much. We just entered the pitch with a lot of fun and the aim to win. The bit of luck was on our side as well, and yeah, we performed.
If France do go through to the semi-finals on this form, you're going to be a danger to any team.
Si la France réussirait à aller dans la semi-finale, dans cette forme, peut être un danger pour un autre adversaire?
J'espère. On espère vraiment aller en demi-finale. On sait qu'on est capable de faire de belles choses quand on arrive à jouer collectif. Donc maintenant, on n'a pas notre destin entre les mains. On n'aurait pas voulu être dans cette situation. Malheureusement, on y est aujourd'hui, mais on a espoir. Et si on est en demi-finale, on essaiera de faire le plus gros match possible.
Yeah, we won't come in this situation being depending on other persons. So first of all, we hope going through the semi-final, and if we jump in, we could be in danger for an opponent. We could be a difficult team to play against, but we need to present as a collective and all together, working together.
And finally, you need a favour from England next. What message would you like to send to the England players?
Et pour finale, maintenant, vous êtes, après le nul contre la Roumanie, vous êtes dépendante de le résultat de l'Angleterre. Il y a quelque chose que tu voulais dire avec l'équipe anglaise?
Eh bien, avec l'Angleterre, c'est une longue histoire. Sur le cécifoot avec la France, ça fait un certain nombre d'années qu'on s'oppose, qu'on fait des beaux matchs. Et ils ont fait un très beau match contre nous. Et j'espère qu'ils vont faire un très beau match contre les Allemands pour leur confiance. Et je pense qu'ils vont garder leur beau jeu. J'espère.
Well, yeah, it's a long history with us and the English team and blind football, but they performed very good against us, and we just hope they do it in the same way against Germany, increasing their self-confidence for the semi-final and help us to going through to the semi-final.
Martin Baron, hat-trick hero today. Good luck for the rest of the tournament.
So there you go. You heard it there. The French team need the England team to do them a favour. Germany need England to roll over. Not going to happen. So Germany needing a draw or a win. Draw or win takes Germany through. A host defeat in the next game at 5 o'clock means that it's England and France that go through and the hosts go out. We now know Italy will play Belgium in the 7th placed playoff. Let's take a look at the highlight of the second half. Alongside me is the commentator Jonathan Bell from that game. Well, they started the tournament getting rained on physically. It was raining goals in this one at the end of their group stage.
Absolutely, Italy bowing out of the group stage in a despondent fashion. But as for France, Martin Baron, who we just heard for there with the interview, hitting a hat-trick for France, and that goal there coming 7 seconds inside of the second half, the fastest goal from a restart that we've had so far in these blind football European Championships. And the bad thing for Italy is, I was saying at half-time actually to Pete off air, if Italy can make sure that they come back in the second half, get a quick-fire goal themselves, they will be well in contention in this game. But in fact, it was them conceding it.
It was the exact opposite of what they wanted, what they needed, and it just never got any better from there. 2 at half-time. In the end, they shipped in 7. 41 shots on target from France, just 7 from Italy. Says it all.
Yeah, absolutely. Italy have not been potent enough in front of goal so far in these championships, and this game absolutely epitomised the downfall of them in these championships so far. And they were missing Paul Oyobo for a vast part of the second period. I think he was taken off as a precaution from the Italian coach just to make sure that he doesn't suffer any injuries ahead of their game on Friday against Belgium. But the frustrating thing for Italy is they actually finished 7th, just ahead of Belgium in 2015 in Hereford. And with the expectation going into this with a couple of fresh new players like Cavallotto and with Oyobo, you sort of fancied Italy to make it a little improvement. That won't be the case. As for France, they can look now, maybe, to the semi-finals. Of course, they will wait for the England game later. Judging by the form book, England should win that game against Germany comfortably, but you just never know. And the crowd are going to be packing this place out in an hour or so's time. So certainly Germany will be up for that one, and it's going to make a beautiful contest. It's so well poised.
Will England do Germany a favour? Let's find out a little bit later on. Coming up next, at 5 o'clock local time, that's 4 p.m. in the UK. It is England against Germany here in Berlin, and Germany need a draw or a win to stay in the contest and qualify for next year's World Cup in Spain. For now, from Alan March, Jonathan Bell and Peter Selby and all of the team here at the IBSA Blind Football European Championships, have a good afternoon.